How to find a rule for associativity of addition of numbers. Now we know that the associative property of addition of numbers tells us, let's take an example. Let's say we have three numbers 10, 80 and 70. If we have these three numbers and if we have to add it, then there will be two ways of doing it. The first way would be like within parentheses put 10 and 80. It tells you that first you have to add 10 and 80, then you will have to add 70 to it. It tells you that 10 plus 80 will be 90, then you'll have to add 70 to it, and this will give you 160. The other way will be first you have to add 80 and 70, and therefore we will put it within a parenthesis, and then you have to add 10 to it. So 80 plus 70 is 150, and plus 10 to it, it tells you that this will be also 160. So either way, either method we follow, either this one or this one, both the methods are correct, and these two methods will give you finally the same result. Well, it's a simple way to tell what's the associative property of addition of numbers, but how to describe this using any rule or formula? Not formula, a rule. You will say that for the associativity of addition of numbers, let's suppose that we have three variables a, b and c, where a, b and c, they can be any number, and we have discussed all these things when we were when we were studying whole numbers. If you remember that we have discussed this associative property of addition of numbers and all. So a, b and c can be any number, and a, b and c are variables here in this case. Now if we look at this discussion, then we can say that if we have these three numbers, then a plus b within parenthesis plus c will be equal to a plus within parenthesis b plus c. What's the difference in these two? First add a and b, then add c to the result what we'll get from this. In this case, first add b and c, and whatever result you get, add a to it. So that's the basic difference in these two methods, ways of solving it. But this will be a method or rule for the associativity of addition of numbers.